Grand Rising and welcome home. There is in this place the possibility of healing, of repair, of making things right within ourselves, between us and the wider world. We gather around this light of hope as we share this time together. Amen, Ashe, and may it be so.
Thank you. And Grand Rising, good morning. We are so glad that you are with us today. Wedgewood is a vibrant and radically welcoming community that promotes diversity, inclusion, equality, and care of Mother Earth. We always honor the fact that we are on the unceded land of the Catawba Nation. We are a safe haven for your intellectual and spiritual growth. We welcome you if you are listening at a later date in a recording or if you are online with us this morning. Whatever brought you here, we welcome you. May you leave richer in spirit than when you arrived, and may you find something here that you've been looking for. We would love for you to add your email and contact phone information to the chat, please, so that we can get you on our newsletter list and you can learn more about Wedgewood and all of our activities. Later in the service, we will have a time of meditation. So we ask that if there is a concern or a prayer request or something heavy on your heart this morning, that you put it in the chat so that we can all remember it today. And now, our extravagant welcome. Now our prelude. I hope you dance, and I hope we all dance. Beautiful message and a great selection for this morning, Ashanti. We're going to hear from Sylvia Douglin, and we're talking about transitions and change in life and taking those leaps of faith that sometimes we hesitate to take, with her message of going from corporate world to artist world. And so we hope you dance. We hope you take that chance. We hope you take that leap of faith. And she's going to share her personal story with us a little bit later. And we have some exciting things going on at Wedgewood, so Liz will share our announcements.
Thank you, Melda. We do have some very exciting things coming up here at Wedgewood, and we are so thrilled that you're joining us today, and we hope that you join us for these upcoming events as well. Next Sunday, Mary Jose Espinoza from the Carolina Migrant Network will be sharing about the work her organization does in the community. They do such critical, vital work in immigration rights and justice. And I know that that is a cause very near and dear to a lot of folks' hearts. There's a lot going on, and they're going to be providing some updates and hopefully some calls to action that we can take and share out with others as well. So join us. And then we are firmly in August. The following weekend will be the 17th. And we will not have a service that Sunday because we will be at the Charlotte Pride Parade, which is very, very exciting. If you are, believe they usually live stream the parade, but if you want to join us in person, we hope that you do. There's more information in our newsletter and our website and social media on how you can join us in person. I recently attended the orientation. We've got a really great spot in the lineup. We're not going to be towards the back. We're going to be towards the middle front, which is a great spot. So we don't have to be in the sun a long time. And I believe our muster site from last year was actually in a really good spot too. It wasn't too sunny. There was some shade. But it's going to be a great day. We've invited a lot of our community friends to participate. Last year, we had a lot of folks from JVP join us, and they've been invited to join us again. And we want to invite all of you to join us. If you're watching at home later on or watching us live, we hope that you consider walking with us in the Charlotte Pride Parade. It's going to be really fun. And then the following Sunday, we are going to be watching a video from John Pavlovitz. He's a fabulous social justice rooted pastor. I believe he's from North Carolina or has roots in North Carolina. Yeah. And we're going to be watching a video of his, and then Melba will be leading the discussion. And then that following Sunday, we will not have service because it's going to be Labor Day weekend. We want folks to be able to enjoy the last kind of big weekend of summer. But we have a lot going on and a lot of great stories to tell. And today we have a fabulous speaker. So we have a lot going on where we hope that you join us every Sunday. And speaking of, we have our next monthly meetup coming up very soon. I am so excited personally. I'm a big fan of sushi, and I know a lot of folks are too. And if you've never tried this cuisine before, one of my favorite things about our meetups is we try a different restaurant every month. And I think at some point, all of us have maybe stepped outside of our box a little bit and trying new things. And this is a great way to try some new food, but with good company and great conversation. So join us on Tuesday, August 12th for our next meetup at Koishi Japanese Restaurant and Sushi Bar at 6:30. Come hungry, stay for the good food and even greater conversation. And we mentioned the Charlotte Pride Parade. You don't have to be a member of Wedgewood to join us, but we hope you do consider joining us. It's going to be a great day. The parade is from 1 to 3 p.m. And we just hope you join us. So as we've shown and talked about many times, we do a lot with a little. We're small, but we're mighty, and we need your help to make these things possible that we are doing at Wedgewood and in the community. So as you feel so moved, please mail your donations to Wedgewood. Our PO box is right there on the screen. You can also scan the QR code on your screen, and it will take you to the landing page on our website where you can get to our Venmo, PayPal, or Zelle. But anything helps, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Liz. Got some exciting and fun things coming up, and we hope that you will choose to join us. And now we invite you to join us in our extravagant welcome led by Liz.
We are all welcome here. Welcome to a community that works for peace, justice, equality, and the care of Mother Earth.
We
are
all
welcome here.
An extravagant welcome to you because of your gender identification, sexual orientation, ethnicity, economic situation, physical and mental challenges, doubting or believing, being depressed, or full of joy. We
are all welcome here.
We are a community of curious and creative spiritual seekers striving to learn from and embody the way of servant leadership.
We are all welcome here.
We focus on the plundered and the marginalized as we try to address the major issues of our day. We are all welcome here. And you are invited to share your passion, your inspiration, and your personal story as one of the ways to help heal the world.
We are all welcome here.
Thank you. And yes, everyone is welcome at Wedgewood. And this is a community that truly believes that and means that. We come to a time of celebrations and concerns. If you have something, please remember to write it in our chat box. We want to remember all of those who are suffering all over the world, those who are impacted by violence, those who have been impacted by natural disasters, those in our own country who are being so hurt by this current administration, and for their allies who are standing with them. And many of us are most of us are among those allies who stand with our immigrants and our Palestinians and others. So we want to lift all of those up that are being harmed. Also, I'm much better from the gout. I never knew what gout was, and if I wish it on no one, it's absolutely horrible, painful. But I'm doing much better. I had a good night's sleep the last 2 nights, and so that's an improvement. Thank you for your prayers and concerns. Also want to continue to remember Sharon Long, who is continuing to deal with some health issues, as is Martha Parrish. Connie Green Johnson lost a dear friend and has been attending that service. And also, I think she's traveling to get a little relief from having had her grandson for the last month. So she's due a vacation for that. And I want to mention to you Stefania Ortega, who was to speak next Sunday. And I have a substitute from the Carolina Migrant Network. Stephania was they were expecting their first child. The child came at 25 weeks, weighing 1 pound, 14 ounces. And her name is Penelope, and she is in the ICU and will be in the ICU for 2 or 3 more months. But is doing well, is doing as they would expect her to do. So they are really overwhelmed with everything. So you're going to love, I call her MJ, who is going to speak next week. You're going to love her. She's energetic and she has a lot of information to share. But please remember, Stephanie, that their family and all that they are going through, and the medical bills are astronomical. So we need to lift that up. And there is a GoFundMe page on my Facebook page, if you can find it in your heart, to help them. They have helped so many people in this community. So now they need a little bit of help from us. So please remember and lift that family up. This is a very difficult time for them. Liz, are there any others listed in our chat box?
Yeah, she put in there something about the sister's bridal shower.
Yeah, my a moment of joy. My sister's getting married, what feels like right around the corner. And as the big sister, I am very blessed and grateful to be able to be involved. And yesterday was her wedding shower, and this past week was very stressful and kind of like getting everything together, but it's also been really joyful. So I'm in Fayetteville right now, and it's just been a moment of joy in what feels like a really hard time in the world right now. And I think we all needed it.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that
Absolutely.
last week.
Yes, we talked about finding joy in those little things,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope that you met our challenge this week and looked for joy in the little things around you, like a baby shower, a wedding coming up, whatever. And so that's a good example, Liz. Thank you. And we hope that the wedding shower is fabulous, as I know it will be.
Mm-hmm.
Any others? All right, in the spirit of Wedgewood, we will take a few minutes of silence for you to use as you choose, in prayer, in meditation, in self-reflection, however you feel moved to use the next few moments, remembering to lift up these things that have been brought to our attention this morning. Amen. And now I am going to turn it over to Ashanti to introduce our very, very special guest speaker this morning, from corporate world to artist world.
Thank you so much, Melba. It is my delight to introduce you to Miss Sylvia Douglin. I've known her for over 30 years. She's a friend of mine. She's family, and she is an amazing woman. I mean, when I first met her, I just thought she was a morning. She's like a bright light with great energy. So I always enjoyed her spirit and her company when she came to visit us. And she's going to give us her story. She'll give us, share her story from going to the corporate world, where she was there for 30 years, and then she retired and she decided to go back to her roots she's a fashionista. She designs clothes. She's an artist. She's a mom. She's a grandmom. She is an all-around superwoman. So you all put your hands together for Miss Sylvia Douglin.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just trying to stay busy, idle hands, devil's workshop, you know how that goes. So, I try to stay busy. Thank you, Ashanti. As she said, we have known each other. We both have ties to Medford, Massachusetts, where I grew up. Most of my childhood was there. It started out in New York, and then we moved to Medford. And Ashanti has family in Medford, and I was there. So you see all these people, and it's all connected. Medford is West Medford is um, one of the premier Black communities in the United States. And back in the day, it's a middle class neighborhood, which was unusual at the time. So I moved there in 1958. So it was unusual for America at that time. So
Mm-hmm.
we were both there and trying to stay busy and do stuff. But I could say I grew up in Medford and in and around Boston, and I graduated from high school in 1970. So things were just starting to change for women. Things were just starting to change for African American community. And but the whole time that we were growing up, from the time that my sister and I were 4 and 5 years old, we started going to the Arts Center in Boston when we were real little kids. And we were in art classes and all that kind of stuff ever since, as my ex-husband and Ashanti's ex-husband used to say, ever since, ever since. And it was always an undercurrent in my life with everything is how do you put things together? How do you make things look nice? You somebody gives you something, and it's how are we going to lay this out so that it matters and it looks good. I spent as I was a teenager, I always wanted to do modeling, and at the time, being a Black person and modeling was, again, just lots of times you're the only Black person in whatever, you name it, and there we were. And it was cool. I went to John Robert Powers School, which I don't think is anymore. It was Powers and Barbizon back in the time. And it was an important step for me because I went to the class, and you're doing some modeling around locally, but I also became a teacher there. And that was an important element for me to go through because, first of all, you learn to be up in front of people, interacting with people, which became very important later on in life because you have to be able to get away from yourself and step out there and communicate with folks. So I went to John Robert Powers, and I worked at Harvard at the Institute of Politics back in the day. And you getting yourself started. And I got married to Charles Douglin and had a couple of kids. And you get at that point. I've talked to young people about there was a foot in Donna Reed for those who are old enough. And I remember Donna Reed and Father Knows Best and all those kind of shows. You had one foot in that, and the other foot in the women's movement. It was a very unusual time. You're getting out there and you start working, and you sort of the world changed significantly in 1977 when they instituted the I think it was act where women's sports had to be as important as men's sports, and it literally changed the entire country at that point. So again, you're getting into things where women never used to be able to get in, and Black folks never used to be able to get in. And I started my career back then. And then I worked at Polaroid, which was fun. And one of the things that happened when I was at Polaroid, and I was just in my late 20s, early 30s, was I always liked to dress, as Ashanti mentioned, and it was in the modeling world and all that kind of stuff. And I always liked to dress, and that's a half to want to go to work and getting dressed and going. So they were trying to get dress codes and stuff at work, and they asked me to teach a class. And this was one of the first things that, I've never done this before. What are you asking me for? But I learned at that point to say yes. We spend too much time thinking, well, I can't do that, or nobody's going to accept me for this, and people are going to laugh. You got to get away from yourself and say yes. And I taught that class at Polaroid for a number of years. And then, but I was at secretary, which is what you did back in the day. Get in when you can fit in.
Yeah.
And I was a secretary. And I was teaching this class, and we had different programs and things like that. And then a friend of mine worked for Xerox. For those who know Xerox.
I remember Xerox.
There
and
you go.
Polaroid.
Yep. Xerox was a premier place to work for anybody. If you worked for Xerox, if you worked for IBM, I don't care who you were, that was one of the premier places. And she had recommended I come in and do sales for Xerox. Well, I don't have a college degree. And that was one of the requirements for Xerox. But they come in, I'm okay. They take you through these classes, questions and whatnot, what you're supposed to do. And I could answer the question because when you're in an administrative role, you see how paper moves and how things move and how people interact and how do you get departments to work together. And so it took me through these things, and then I guess she answered my question. So you want to sell fax machines?
Oh my!
So I was selling fax machines when they were going 6 minutes a page, and then they went to 2 minutes, and then you were really zooming along. Back in the day, with the paper that felt kind of waxy and weird. Oh, gee. Anyways. So I worked for them for a number of years. I hate selling things. I absolutely hate selling. Oh my God. Then the kids finally, my son and daughter finally said, we don't need to eat this badly. You just, oh my goodness, I didn't like selling. But it was an important thing to go through. Again, as you go through life, you pick up these different things that you learn to do that go into your quiver of when you get presented with something, I've had experience doing that, and I've tried that, and so you get out and you start doing various things, and life kind of fills in. And so I think we spend a lot of time thinking we have to go down this particular path, and that's not necessarily true. You're given experiences so that you can grow, so that you have something to call upon when you might need it. So we went through that and sold for Xerox for a number of years. And I ended up going to Digital Equipment Corporation. All of these old companies that young people know, I don't know what that is. Digital Equipment eventually merged with Hewlett Packard. And it was a big deal in Massachusetts. That's where they were. And I was doing some work with them. And they were looking for, this is around 1989. And so they were looking for Black people. So, okay, I can do that. They were looking for women. I can do that. And then they were looking for somebody who had trained before. I have done that because I trained it at did the image consulting stuff, and I had trained at John Robert Power School. And they took me into their program to do corporate training. And that was the beginning of what I did since 1989 until I still do it sometimes. So that's been a calling. And I love training. When you're talking to people and the light comes on in their eyes, it's very, very important to be able to connect with people and talk with people. Again, all the things that go into the ability to do that kind of thing, being able to get up in front of people and model, because there's can be, throngs of people, to be able to learn to speak in front of people, to be able to hold your own and understand the job. How I got the job at Digital doing this training, I had set up this whole exercise, and we were going along, but people weren't getting it. So halfway through, I stopped and said, let's try this instead. And because I was able to pivot, is why they hired me. Because you don't know what's going to happen with your audience. Sometimes stuff happens. And you have to be able to know enough to be able to get them to a point. We need you to hit these learning points along the way. Um, but we're going to have to go a different route to get there. And I found that this worked for training. It also works in life. You've got a plan to say, no, we're going to do this, that, and the other thing. And then life says, no, something else going to happen. You got a weird administration or something comes up, kids or whatever. You got to be able to pivot.
To pivot.
You've got to be able to pivot. And it's important to pivot. And not only pivot, but keep your goal in mind. You can't lose sight of where you're trying to go. You still got to get there. So I was a corporate trainer for a number of years. I moved out to Seattle, which was interesting. A little too slow. I mean, for all the coffee that these people drink, I mean, really, let's go, people. Okay, we'll get I'm going back to the East Coast. I came back and I live right here. This is Metro DC, Silver Spring, Maryland. And I came down here and started to work at Fannie Mae in different places. And I was training, but also began writing training. And this is, again, how things weave together. Again, there's always this undercurrent of creativity and art. How do you make the class interesting? How do you maintain the look and feel of something so people can follow what you're trying to do so that it looks nice? I mean, people can put words on a page and yikes, I mean, really. There was somebody who did this class and because they thought, oh, this yellow is pretty. Well, nobody can see yellow. I mean, really. So anyhow, how do you put things out so people can see them and understand where you're going? How do you make it look good? Because the thing about how it looks is that if somebody sees something wrong, then they will look for something else that's wrong. So you really have to put it together. It needs to flow, it needs to be clear, and it needs to be attractive because we are all growing up on TV, and TV, ads and things like that are never ugly. So if something is ugly, people pay attention to it and then look for something else to be wrong. So the art played a big role in that. And how do you write the class? How do you send out documents? I was writing classes. I was sending out documents for the various places that I worked. Sylvia, can you do the flyer? Sylvia, can you put this together? Sylvia, does this look right? Sylvia, what are we going to wear to the Christmas party? It's all those sorts of things. All these things, steadily weaving all these various pieces together. Now, throughout all this is the art. Through all this is the fashion. Through all that is sewing, because I was, before I got old and started shrinking, was 5'9.5", which they didn't have clothes for my size. So I've been sewing since I was a teenager too. And I make dresses, I make coats. I loved sewing. I love that. Creating something out of nothing. I've always found that to be interesting, which also goes with writing training programs. What is my goal? To get them to understand this concept or this task. And how do I get them there? Out of nothing, we're going to make something. That always has run through my life ever since. So again, saying yes to things. I ended up at a management consulting firm in Virginia, and our client was EPA. And again, I don't have a college degree. I just know how to get information across to people. And we worked there for it was a great company. We had lots of fun at that place. And one of their clients was Maristar Hotels. Maristar Hotels became interstate. Hotels like a Marriott or a Hilton or whatever is not owned by Marriott or Hilton anymore. Everything is franchised out. So they managed a bunch of companies. And so they hired me on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, I hadn't started working. They just said, I want you to work for us. First, they go, you want to go to California? What do I go to California for? We need you to go out and train these people to train. Oh, say yes. Off I went. And training people at Premier Star hotels. And over the number of months, that was our client. So one of the guys in that class was the general manager at a hotel here, asked if I wanted to be the human resources director at the hotel. So I said, oh, and off I went. So I was HR director at the hotel and training from the corporate office to all the hotels. So at the time, they had 300 hotels. So we go back and forth in doing that until I finally went to corporate, where I'm now in charge of training for 300 hotels. So you're writing training, you're developing training, you're delivering, making sure training happens, because if you are at Hilton, there are certain things you have to do at Hilton, and you have the hotel management company has to make sure those things are happening. And that's where I've been in hospitality for since 2000. And I love it. You're writing training, delivering training, and all that. So I worked for Interstate Hotels, Hersha Hotels, where we built training and HR from the ground up, and then Crestline Hotels, the last place I worked. And I loved it. But after a while, I've done all I can do. So in between all of that, at the end of it, this place where I live now, I used to live on the other side of this complex. They had a fire in 2023. So I had to move to this side. So I'm sitting one day, I'm at 3:00 in the morning, realizing that I need something for over the television. So I need a face, because I love faces, as you can see. I love faces. And this whole thing came to me about making faces. The medium is cardboard, and I started making these faces. So I'm going to show you the faces, and you can see them out here, but I have a bunch of faces. I'm going to share my screen and show you what I make.
And I have one too.
Yours is on there. So again, you're making something out of nothing. So I made this cardboard face, showed it to a friend who showed it to a guy who bought it. And that's where I started selling the art. And but I still needed something now to go back over the television. I needed to my face. It's something to go and fit in that space. And I started making this art. Everybody see that okay?
Yeah.
Come on, machine, click. Thank you.
Oh, I like that one.
So this was the second one that I made, and this is for my daughter Carla has this one, and my son Joseph has this one.
Oh.
There is no paint on any of these. It is only paper and forks, bamboo forks.
Oh, I like that one.
Beautiful.
I
Oh, I
love
like
these.
that one too. I want another
This
one.
one, Ashanti, this one on the end with the hair up, that's named for Malika Sef's sister.
I like that one. Here's the one I have, you guys.
She's gonna show. I'm gonna have her. She's on there. I learned how to make straight hair. These are grocery bags.
Oh, I like that one too.
The gold earring here is, you get from the pastry store, and they give you the gold cardboard that it sits on.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's what that is.
Oh yeah, like on a cake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And
I like the blonde guy too with the glasses.
Yep, that's his name is Joseph. They all get a name. This is Joseph. This is Carla. This is Sandy from Sandy Springs, where Zach went to school. But I learned to braid and you know, I've been learning how to do the various pieces on the art.
Oh,
Oh, I love that.
This is
oh,
Coco, and she's back here.
Yeah, I
with the
saw her back there and I've been
mhm.
admiring.
Oh,
That's Coco, and her ring is tinfoil, and
uh-huh.
her ear piercing is tinfoil.
And
And
what's
this
her
is again,
hair?
her hair is grocery bags,
Oh,
um, gift bags.
how do you get it to curl?
You gotta cut everything. Every piece is cut individually, and you roll it like you do Christmas
Oh,
ribbon.
yeah, like the curly ribbon.
Hmm.
Oh, wow.
And this is somebody wanted Carla, my daughter Carla recommended I try a side view. So
Yeah,
this is Viola. And what you notice in Viola is got different colors here. This white streak that runs through
yeah,
is envelopes. You know, the inside of a white envelope so you
yeah,
can't see
Oh,
through. You turn
yeah,
it, that's
yeah.
what that is. There's cork, there's forks, there's gift bags, grocery bags, and this is a pie plate for her earring. The white on the eyes and the teeth is a Nine West shoebox.
wow.
So everything is individually cut. There's nothing that's pre-cut or anything.
That's amazing, Sil.
Then some people have asked me to do some um, likenesses. So this is my friend Denise. So you see Denise over here. Oh,
Wow.
smoke alarm again in the building. Golly. And then it's Spike Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Did Spike Lee buy it?
No, another person bought it. It was in an art show and
Oh,
somebody bought
oh,
it.
okay. And that's mine.
That's
Oh,
Ashanti's. Now
nice.
Ashanti, because I wanted her to have locks, like Ashanti got. And see, she's showing how big it is. This is jute rope, and it's braided jute
Wow.
rope. Her earrings again, pie plates and cardboard and Nine West bags and that kind of stuff. Can you hear the fire alarm going off in here?
No.
Good.
Yeah, but still, I couldn't put the hands on. Wasn't sure how to put the hands on.
Well, give me a call. We'll
Okay,
FaceTime and I'll show you.
okay. And that one's over my TV too.
Oh, good. See, good
Yeah.
spot for these things.
Yay!
So the thing about the transition is you never know what you're going to be doing, where you're going to be, what skills are going to come to the fore. So as a result of doing the art, I started putting pieces in. I started putting pieces in art shows and whatnot. So here in Maryland, there's a show called Paint the Town that's over Labor Day weekend. And I put the things in there and started talking to people. And as a result, another say yes moment, they called and said, would you like to be president of Montgomery Art Association?
What?
So, okay. Well, that's where I am now. And we're planning on some big things for the county and their arts programs and things like that. And it's a good blend again of the corporate approach because artists, we're just, oh, isn't that pretty? There's no structure.
Right.
Put this out there. What's your process? So the training, the corporate work, and the art have come together to the next chapter in life. And my big thing is when I talk to people is say yes. Don't worry about it. If it's brought to you, it's for
For
you.
you.
So spirit kind of knows what it's doing. Together a whole world, they figured out something.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
give
Well,
yourself a chance and try new things and think about all the different things that you do in life and how they do come together.
Connect, yeah.
How those skills may be important down the road, and you can use a little bit of this and a little bit of that to go into your next chapter. And so many people stop and they retire and say, well, I'm 70 and I can't do anything. If you're 70, you had to be in jail for 20 years, you think of something you needed to do.
Right. Right.
If you're healthy, you got your wits about you, step into the next chapter and say yes.
I sent out some questions earlier this week to think about times that we have made transitions. And I don't know if you saw, I've been writing some things down that you said. And a couple of things came to me as I thought about those questions. And I like that you said you have to be able to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about in today's world, and many of us have days we just want to give up. We're done for, we're gone. There's nothing we can do. No, we just have to pivot and find another way to get through this. But learn to pivot. And the terms to say yes moment, taking a leap of faith. All of those to me are synonymous and kind of say the same thing depending on where you personally are coming from. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that very much because it resonates, I think, in my personal life as well as in my life of what's going around in my country right now, that we've got to pivot. We don't give up. We just, we find another way and we
find another way.
Yeah.
And
I'd like to thank you personally for your message.
So thank you very much.
Very uplifting.
Thank you.
What did you want to say, Tom? Why?
I wanted to thank Sylvia for her message. It's very uplifting, and it has a lot of parallels with some of my history also. I work for Corning Incorporated, which is upstate New York.
Yep,
it's a good place to go. Being in corporate really does give you a lot of skills. So,
and also, could you mention your coats that you do too? Show your coat. She does these jean jackets, and she can make it the way you want them, whatever you want on them, whatever your joys are, whatever your likings. She can put all these things on the jacket with all represent who you are and what you like. See all that?
And they all have faces on them and paintings on them. Are there fire trucks rolling up here? Oh Lord!
Oh Lord! Is this your house going? Is this your place?
My building, but there's a bunch of apartments in here. Sometimes people will barbecue on a porch or something.
Oh, I see.
So you walk down 8 flights, only have to walk back up 8.
Oh, gee. So that's one of the jackets. I think I'm going to order one of those and put some butterflies and things like that. Maybe I put Coogee on there too. But
I wear it on Sunday morning.
Huh?
You got to wear it on Sunday morning for us to
see. Yeah, I think I'm going to get one of those because I got a jean jacket and I had it for like years, like probably 20 years. You know how something that's just like, it's old, but it's really good.
Yep. And it's got history with it.
Yeah, they got history and just fits you right. So I love this jean jacket, but there's nothing on it. So that would be cool to have all my little favorite things on the jacket. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions or any comments from this lovely woman?
I had a question for Sylvia. Thanks, first of all, for your message. You mentioned Seattle didn't work for you. So I wanted you to talk a little bit about decisions that you made that weren't exactly the right decision, and how did you rethink and recover and rebound from, because not every decision is going to be perfect.
Right.
So that would be interesting to me if you could talk about that a little bit.
Okay. I moved out to Seattle because I've been studying metaphysics and stuff since the 90s. And we had a teacher out there called Ramtha, and we were out there with that. But it was a long way from my family. It was a long way from the East Coast and the East Coast culture. And I was living in Kent, Washington, and selling machines again. And Carla came out because Joseph said he ain't going out there. Those are my kids, Joseph and Carl. And we decided that this is not for us. So we literally packed the car up and said, we're out. We're going back, and we came back to Metro DC because I didn't want to go back to Massachusetts. And I driven from Massachusetts to Seattle, which was a wonderful experience. Oh my gosh. Really? This country is wonderful. We're crazy, but it's a wonderful country. And we packed up the car and we drove back. And sometimes, again, you have to pivot. You know, you've got some skills. You can always be an admin person. You can always go back into training. Again, one thing kind of leads to another. But to have the faith that says, and really look around and realize this is not for me. Out here is not where I want to be. And then to be able to, pack up your stuff and say, next. Rather than to stay forever. I made a decision in 1985 and now I got to, really? Really?
He said, really?
Make a run for it
Right.
while you still can. And to give yourself permission to say that wasn't right.
Yes.
Really,
and that's okay. And that's okay. You tried it. You said yes. I don't really like it. I want to do something else. Pivot. Pivot. I like when you said, just say yes, even if you don't even know how you're going to do it. Oh yeah, sure, I'll do that. And then your mind's like, oh gee, how am I going to do that? But you said yes, and you're going to figure it out. And then it's like another stepping stone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And can commit yourself to doing it. If you say yes, if somebody brings something to you, if somebody asks you to do something, really understand what it is that they want you to be able to do, and to determine, do I have the skill set for that?
Do that.
And if you've got some of the skills and somebody has seen something in you that says you can do this, ask Spirit. Take a minute. Go ask Spirit. Is this the right thing? Yeah, go ahead. You'll be fine. You sure? You sure? Are you sure? Yeah. Yes. What you get going? Oh, thank you.
Now, when Sylvia says spirit, you know how we always say everyone looks at God in a different way. It's God, it's Allah, it's Jah, it's Yahweh. She says spirit, like the universe. The universe is the energy, So when she says that, which I'm cool with that too. I like all different ways of looking at the holy divine, I said you can see it that way too. There's all different ways of looking at it, and it's all correct, whatever you resonate with. So I just wanted to mention that.
You've got spirits and guides and guards that are looking out for you
guardian
all the
angels,
time.
ancestors, all of that. I believe that.
Yep. They're busy.
Yeah, they're busy. Well, Sylvia, you are amazing. I always thought you were amazing from the very first time. Sylvia came to my wedding when I married Seth. And she's been just like this.
And the thing was a riot because we're at the reception and people were, how did you know that? You know the bride and the groom? I said, I'm the groom's ex-wife. And these are his former in-laws. And people would look and then they sort of just wander away. It was a riot.
Hey. It was. It's like, so because, you got an ex, I guess you're supposed to be mad at them or don't like them or whatever. But, Seth was a wonderful man, so you could not like him. He was a beautiful human being, So And Sylvia, you're just amazing. I love you. I care for you. You're a family, and you guys give a round of applause for her, please. It was beautiful.
Thank you. I enjoyed being here.
I hope you will. I would like for you to maybe come back and maybe do something about the metaphysics. We talk about everything here, different ways of looking at, spirit and reaching out to the Holy Divine. So I would like to learn some more about that too. I mean, isn't that what something that the Earth, Wind, and Fire was into, the metaphysics?
I guess
so. Yeah. Anyway.
Good. The fire alarm stopped.
Oh, good. I'm glad they put the fire roll to figure out what was going on. So, anything else, Melba? Did you want to have?
I wanted, before we move to your song, we always take a action every Sunday morning, and I want to challenge everyone this week to find a way to take a little leap of faith. Nothing big, not changing your career, not saying, "Oh, I'm going to move I decided I'm going to move. Take some little leaps of faith, and that will build up to your strength in taking other leaps of faith.
Yeah.
And embrace challenges and opportunities. Don't immediately say no. Like Sylvia said, take a few minutes and think about it. Maybe something you've been thinking about doing, like taking an art class, take a cooking class, or when we go out at our meetup, oh man, live real risky and take a real leap of faith, try a little sushi. But try something, try to find something that you can step out of your comfort zone a little bit this week, because if you can step out a little bit, that little bit's going to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And we are making some pivoting in our country. We're pivoting some in our church now. We're making some changes, and all of us are pivoting in our lives. So let's start working on that. Just those little bits of, I'm going to try this. I'm going to say yes to this sushi that's sitting right here. I think I like eel, but I think I'm going to try this eel right here. So give it a try. Thank you, Sylvia.
And I want to have this word of wisdom before I go into the song by Martin Luther King. While he was speaking about new beginnings, he offers wisdom applicable to being available on your journey. He says, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. And this encourages and embracing the journey with courage and taking action even when the path ahead is not clear. Because you get a little scared. So, oh, I don't know. And that's the scary part, saying, oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I can do that. But Sylvia says, if you feel like you can do it, you have the knowledge, you have the information, you have the background, say yes. Because the Holy Divine, the universe, the guardian angels have are always moving things for the good of you. Just do you.
Amen. Thank you.
That was perfect. That was perfect.
Great message.
Yes. Thank you all.
That was wonderful. I haven't heard you sing in a long time. That was
know
wonderful.
Our closing this morning. Remember our challenge this week to take some small leaps of faith and some pivoting moments and some just say yes moments, because changes are bound around us, within us, between us, in our communities, in our neighborhoods, in our beloved church community. Change is a part of living. I once heard the only thing you can truly count on is change. May we each find the balance that we need as we move through this ever-changing world. The balance between the old and the new, the known and the unknown, the familiar and the unfamiliar, and the perhaps bold and risky possibilities that may be out there, waiting for just you. Give us the faith and courage as we go through these days ahead. May it be so.
May it be so. We extinguish this flame, but we keep the light in our hearts with a message of love and justice, taking it outside of these walls in which we live in until we see each other again. Amen, Ashe, and may it be so. Now go in peace.